Katie here from Your Charming Story, yourcharmingstory.com, home of the root rubber. I want to show you today how I do my maintenance. I haven't done anything in quite some time. As you can tell, I've even got a missing extension that needs to go back in. All this fuzz and baby hair. A lot of this turns into cute little curls when I dry it correctly out of the shower, but it is pretty out of control and I would like to tame it down. You can see that I've got a lot of new growth here on my roots. Some of them are a little bit thinner and others are a little bit thicker, but they've got a lot of loose hair right here that's not been crocheted in and it's not been root rubbed yet. Last time I did my root rub was right here, and I didn't do my whole head. I only did a couple of them over here, but where it's grown out, all this straight stuff, this has not had any root rubbing yet, so you'll be able to see the difference in this demo of how well this product works. I'm so excited to share with you because so many of you have asked, how does this work on hair that is grown out like a lot? So we'll get to that. Just showing you a little bit from all sides what's going on here. And in the back, just everywhere. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's a mess. Let's just take it down and work with it. Many of you have seen other posts that I've put up in these groups about how this extension here is all from baby dolls. I actually have the dolls over there in the other corner of the room where they're waiting to get their little hats and makeovers to go be donated to Children's Hospital, to children with cancer who need a doll that looks like them. That's what I've decided I'm going to do with them. So this one is nice and floppy. Gosh, I play with these all the time when I'm just bored, and I can't believe how you can even see through that one, how incredibly thin the roots are since they're not matted or crocheted or root rubbed together yet. This one I touch all the time. So you can see this bump right here. That's because my hair is curly. So my hair is actually trying to twist like that. There are several of my locks that have already made a complete half turn. Where's one that's a good example? Even this one. Nope. Most of them are on the back of my head, hard to find. This one has. So in this one's grow out process, it has turned already. Like it should be like this if it was to have grown straight, but it's turned itself. So we're gonna get all of that crocheted in today and root rubbed so that this can start plumping up and looking the way that it's supposed to. I'm not much for the free form, so I want to have all this tidied up, and as you can see I don't really have many bumps. There's a few here and there that have happened, and I generally crochet them out as quickly as possible because I don't want them. I want my hair to look straight. That one needs some help. A lot of these dreadlocks that have this blonde doll hair connected straight to my hair, they've had some trouble locking up at the connection points. However, the ones that have my best friend Sabrina's hair like this little bit of gold, as you can see it's a little bit darker than just the doll hair right here. Her hair, she chopped it all off and gave it to me, and unfortunately I didn't have enough to put some in each one, but I was able to get it into majority of them, and it has really helped my hair to lock up right there at that connection point. I haven't had any trouble with the extensions falling out where those are. She had her hair bleached and her ends were pretty dry and split, so that was actually very helpful in connecting my extensions. I really wish that we had had more of her hair to go around, but I didn't. Anyway, I did what I could. I just love the feel of these. They feel so cool. I'm about 5 months in my journey here. Let me take off my sweatshirt. I'm getting a little toasty. And we will get started. My house was cold and I turned off all the heat, put on my sweater, and now it's too much. All right, as you can see, I've got some little rubber fingers that are great for preventing blisters. And you know, sometimes when you're doing your crochet, you can only do 20 or so at a time because you get a really raw spot right here on your thumb and right here on this finger, and actually a little bit right here, but not enough to put a rubber finger on because you kind of lose feeling on that one. But I found these. I paid maybe $7 or something like that for a pack of 14 on Amazon, and they did have tips on them, but I snipped them off so that they would slide in and I could still use this part to feel my crochet hook when I'm working. They're great. I highly recommend them. Anyways, let's put up some of my hair. When I do my maintenance, each time I do it, I seem to work around my head in a different way. But lately, these ones up front have been just driving me bananas. So we're going to start there because I don't know if I'll get all the way through my whole head or not. And I at least want to have these ones done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my root rubber first. And I'm going to do each of them. And then I'm going to go back and use my 0.5 millimeter crochet hook. And then I'm going to root rub again so that it will mat up a bit, lock it up with the crochet hook, and then mat it up again with the root rubber. So here we go. Pull it right through the middle, feed it all the way up, and pinch. And you can rub from anywhere, 15 seconds up to a minute. I typically don't do it the whole minute. I did one time and it seemed to take forever because they have like 66 or 67 locks. So I kind of just go at it and change directions every once in a while. We'll tug on the lock a little bit to make sure that it's still taut. Alright, let's see what's happened. Already you can see a huge difference. Just in this one bounces so much more than this one does. And I'm giving it a good little tug. Let's do a little bit more. Wanted to get this done before Christmas, and I just didn't have the energy with all my Christmas preparations and my kids and everything going on. I was crocheting with yarn, some gifts for my family members, and I didn't have the energy to sit and do my hair with all those hours that I was spending doing my yarn. Okay. All right, even more so. That is awesome. I'm loving it. You can still see that I've got my block, and let's compare it to, woohoo! All right, so now I'm going to just kind of get those out of there. Where's the 0.5 one? I've got my 0.75 here too, and that one's not really my favorite. 0.5 is great. So there's some different ways that you can do the crochet hook, and I have found that taking your point, and say this is the thread, going with the point facing my finger, so it's grabbing on my finger, you go like this, rotate it, so it's dragging from each side, and I only go through the middle of the thread when I want to lock the hair in place, when I'm ready to stop in that spot. But just going around it makes a little nest around the lock, and it grabs it and grabs it and grabs it and makes it tighter. So just going, working your way down, well, up that way. I'm gonna do some more, getting it as close to my roots as I can. So it's hard to show you without my fingers getting in the way. Just what it looks like, oops, as I'm going up. But I want to go for a little ways because I know that these are, and while I'm doing that with my right hand, this hand is slowly spinning the lock. And every once in a while, oh, see, so much better already. Oh my gosh, love it. Spinning the lock helps to make sure that you're getting it evenly on all the different sides. You can tell right here I'm running into Sabrina's hair where it's locking nice and thick. Second, I'm going to get to that doll hair. There it is. So you can tell the difference in what was done and what's not. Now, some people thought that when I put the doll hair in that it would unravel or melt in the water from the shower, just depending on what kind of synthetic fibers it was made out of. And I honestly don't know what kind of material it's made out of. I just know that I got it from Baby Doll, but it has stayed intact. Sometimes I get these little wispies at the bottom and I try to lock them in, and if they just absolutely refuse, then I crochet this part, but I'll just snip the ends right there so that they're nice and even when they hang down and not looking all fuzzy and ratty looking. And then when I do snip those, I keep the little pieces so that I can have in a Ziploc bag for when I have weak spots like up here. Not this one, but in case I get weak spots, so I can use them as a patch. I want my hair to blend color-wise as much as possible. And I actually have some of my son's hair that I cut off Christmas Eve morning so that I can try to fill in some of the weak spots that I have, especially on the bottom ones on my neck. They come down and hang pretty weak where the connection point is, because I didn't have any of Sabrina's hair in those. Anyway, back to where we were. This is feeling nice. I like it. Right here could use a little bit more. Typically I'd be watching a show while I'm doing this, but for the sake of making a video and my living room not being very attractive, I put together a little backdrop and decided to hang out here in the laundry room. Okay, I'm gonna do just a little bit down here at the end. Oops. I've noticed that these threads collect quite a bit of fuzz and lint from my hoodies. It's been so chilly lately. I've been wearing a hoodie like every day. So I will, and you see that gray lint? It's right in the end. Just pick it out. Not a big deal. My root rubber doesn't seem to leave any lint though, which is awesome because I get a lot of questions and comments about that. Don't you have to pick it out? Doesn't it leave so much in your hair? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Okay, moving on. Oh, let's, excuse me, go back and rub this one again. This just helps to lock it up. Right there at the roots. I don't want them looking all floppy. Oops. Awesome. Love it. Even go over it one more time. Okay. Well, that is how I do my maintenance. This one has a lot of baby hair that's come out even from other neighboring locks. So I'll kind of pick it apart and make sure it goes in the right place before I crochet. Get as much of that in there as possible. Oops, I'm not pinching this one very well. Hold on. There we go. They're too big to sit behind my ears. Hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas and a happy Kwanzaa. quarantine so far. I know for my family it's been awesome reprogramming the kids with their new stepdad and learning some new discipline and just getting to know one another and do things better with each other. A whole bunch of that can go up there. Some of this, gosh, this could have even gone in that one. Oh, what to do, what to do. I think I will go back and lock that up in there. And this happens, you know. This is part of real dread life, is figuring out how you want it to look, how you want to do it. If you don't have the money or the time to pay somebody else to do it, or the trust. I've seen a lot of folks on the dreadlock groups that say, you know what, so-and-so did my hair and I don't like how they did it. I'm going to strip it all out and redo it. So I had a friend do the initial installation, teach me everything she knows, and then I've been doing it myself since then. There we go. That's better. Kids are outside building a snowman with what's left of the snow. So my babe wanted to show me pictures. Like, I'm a little busy. Ouch, ouch. See, this part of the maintenance hurts, and some people would like to just avoid the crochet maintenance altogether, and that's totally possible with my root rubber. If you want to, you could strictly do root rubbing as your maintenance method. No shame whatsoever if you want to stay away from the hook. It's your choice, it's your hair. Right there is getting a little thin and should probably get a little patch on it. Oops. Oops. Ah. Week. It's okay. I typically will go all the way down through my natural hair and Sabrina's until I get to the dull hair, first couple inches. And depending on how that looks and feels, I'll leave it alone. Not my roommate. Opening the garage door. Let me peek out there and see. Just you? Okay. That was my husband. Okay, so I crocheted. Now I'm gonna root rub again. Now that all that loose hair is much better. This is always a very tender spot on my head. Much better. This one you can see right there. it's already started to do a half turn. If it was to be straight, it'd be like that. And that little loop is sticking out because that's the curl growing out, and it wants to go like that. Okay. So I would typically do this to my whole head in many sessions over the course of a week, but thanks to these little finger socks, savers, whatever you want to call them, rubber fingers, I am sometimes able to do my whole head in one session and not be worn out, except resting my arms for a couple minutes every once in a while. That's really nice, helping to get it all done at one time. See the difference? Get all that fuzz up in there. Ouch. Ouch. Make sure I'm not getting it from somewhere else. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts. My arm's tired already and I've only started. Some of my locks have become kind of flat from putting them up almost every day and from not doing any maintenance lately, and I'm hoping to round them back out. Like right here, it's kind of flattened out. Just crochet it, just spin it. Just kind of go by feel. You don't always have to do it by how it looks. Right here, you can see it needs help. All these hairs are sticking out, so when I get there in a second, I will go back over it with my 0.75 hook and pull some of those in. You really hate doing that, it takes forever. It's not walking up itself, and it's been 5 months already, and it clearly needs some help. Using my iPad for a mirror is not the best idea, but it's what I've got to work with right now. I hate doing this part. Okay, so we're pushing through, grabbing some hairs and pulling them through. Crochet a little bit on the outside, stick it through the middle. I hate doing this part. And this hook always grabs so much more hair than I want it to. Doesn't always come off. Not perfect, but it's much better. I'll go back around with 5. That's pretty good. I'm going to rub it again. I'm excited to see how this side is going to compare to this side in just a second when I look up close. Long overdue. Nice, very nice. Okay, so we've got those 3. Well, that one could use some more rubbing. one's pretty good. This one is pretty good. Let's do a little more on this guy. I want to mention that the rubbing itself doesn't hurt. However, when I go to bed tonight, I'll probably feel it a little bit tender. That's just part of it, you know, you're exfoliating or, you know, causing that friction on your head. Of course, it's going to be a little bit tender. Much better. These ones will probably come back out and end up as a ringlet just in the next few days. They always do. But I like to put them back when I can. So let's go back and see. The other side looked like this with all that hair with as much loose and wiggle and bounce as these, and even how thick all the stuff is coming off of that one. Remember the other ones looked like that? And now those other ones look nice. Very, very good. I'm happy with them. Alrighty, I'm gonna take a break and come back after I've done some more and show you. Thank you.